You've been doing stand-up comedy for a long time, but the thing that you probably are known for is the dark room. So for people who don't know what the dark room is, can you sum... I mean, is it possible to sum it up?
It's a lot. Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, can we give me a longer, more comfortable couch and some tissues so I can cry? This is getting a little bit... Yeah, the Dark Room's a live-action video game. It's an excuse to wear a lot of leather and scream. And it works well. We tend to get German men come to the show and make the same joke, which is where they just go, "Oh, this was not the dark room we expected." It's like, yeah, I get it. You fuck each other. That's very clever. See me backstage. My wife will be there as far as she knows. In any case, the dark room's just a thing where I put on the voice of Brian Blessed. 4 options appear on the screen behind me. People call out what they want, and we do that to audiences of anywhere between 100 to about 3,000 people.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's baffling.
So it started online, though, right? It started as an online thing.
It did. I made a clickable YouTube adventure, which went very viral in 2012, which is to say it got 1 million views and no money. And, and then a friend of mine went, "Oh, you should really go do that at that Edinburgh Fringe you're always talking about." And I did. And the first session that we did, we had 4 people in, which isn't enough to get an hour. I've done more traumatic shows to less people, I've done theatre shows that could just be described as S&M, except in S&M people enjoy themselves. With those 4 people, when it was done, after 20 minutes, I turned to my wife and we were both like, shit, that really works.
Right.
As long as we get at least double the crowd tomorrow, I think it'll be all right. And it just started going really nicely. And then, bafflingly, that show has taken me all around the world, and I've gotten no better at doing a convincing British accent, but it's gotten louder.
Well, it is, again, it's very in your face, and there's obviously, I've watched one of them live, I haven't seen it live, and there's obviously a lot of running jokes in it, and then you pick on people who don't know what it is, so they all kind of, and the clip I saw, everyone kept on choosing the same thing, even though it was... Yep. We already knew that led to disaster. It's like one of those choose-your-own-adventure things from the 1980s.
Yes, except for the purpose of licensing, in which case it's absolutely not like that at all, Richard. That's fine. They're not famously litigious or anything, those people. Choose your own fucking lawsuit, old man. Anyway...
It's similar to that.
Well, the thing is, the guy, Ian Livingstone, who created Fighting Fantasy... He came to see it at the first Edinburgh Fringe, and it was just one of the biggest "I've got massive genitals" greetings I've ever received. He just greeted me with, "Hello, my name is Ian. I invented the thing you're parodying." Which is a wonderful way of just, losing all your spinal fluid in one moment. He's such a nice man. No lawsuit.
I don't think you can, it's not the Warlock of Firetop Mountain. Was
That's
that what
him.
it's called? Oh, yeah, I love that game. It's a book and you roll dice. Yours is very different. Yours is a weird man shouting in the face of people doing cosplay.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're right. God, I'm beginning to see why I can't buy a house.
It looked like it was doing very well. There was a lot of people in that audience.
Oh no, it is baffling how well it is doing. I have a wonderful time. People occasionally greet me by going, "Hey John, Darkroom's still doing really well," and I sort of go, "Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I sort of do the show and then I wake up in a sort of PTSD haze a few days later. I think I really hurt some people." Good. Did they buy T-shirts afterwards? Good. But yeah, it's really weird because sometimes when I go to Australia, what I do is considered incredibly niche.
Right.
By men with accents that can't be understood outside of their own fucking suburb. And, I don't know, John, you do fucking that, do you? Fucking I was like, who are you? Put the knife down. And then I'll do a gaming convention, and then I'll do a theatre, and then I'll be on at a rock festival. And you're just like, well, it can do all of these things. I was here last week in the beautiful Y Theatre with a lovely crowd that I think wanted some sort of Samuel Beckett shit to happen. And they certainly sat there expectant that at some point entertainment would break out.
But it's, the idea of is that you're going to die if you don't succeed.
Yeah, that's the one.
Has anyone actually died in real life?
Oh, because of the dark room? As far as we know, and again, for the purpose of lawsuits, no.
Walked out alive.
That's never happened. My target audience are women in hospital beds, and my show has never killed anyone or made more women in hospital beds.
That's good.
Weird. Anyway.
And there are prizes? There's prizes?
Oh, yeah. I just go and buy some crap on the way. I got a pineapple years ago in Manchester, called it a flamboyant potato, and the audience went, "Oh, that's funny," and I went, "All right." So we did it again the next night, and the audience went, "That's funny," and then I just made some T-shirts, and they all sold, and I thought, that is funny. Good. So that became an important bit of the lore, and
But it feels like, well, and I love that when something's organic, and where everything sort of is, you haven't sat down and written things, very much.
Who can be bothered?
You've programmed the computer.
I haven't programmed the computer.
Okay.
I have smart people who do that.
Okay.
I sit there and I go, I think it would be funny if around Christmas there was an expansion where we're just doing the nativity story, but you can choose to play as God, because that will be a good excuse for me to turn to the crowd and go, "It is a fine sunny day in Galilee, and you are railing the arse off a carpenter's wife." That's fun. My dad was a priest.
I think most comedians' dads were either priests or
no.
priests or
They
headmasters.
were all my dad. He's had a lot of funnier sons.
But you've been. I was watching your stand-up as well, which was incredible. But again, it feels like you're going on, without much idea of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. I mean, I found it interesting because it's very interactive. It's this, this is in your face, and if you like it, good, and if you don't, bad luck. But you're playing with the audience and doing stuff. And the week we're doing this, Peter Kay has just been, in trouble for getting some hecklers thrown out of his gig, which it sort of feels like. But it's interesting, isn't it? Because Peter Kay, if you believe his autobiography at least, has never had a bad gig in his life. So he would never have had to deal with that kind of thing before. Whereas I imagine you would probably be okay if someone shouted garlic bread at you a few times.
Well, I mean, what happens is someone shouts at me, and a lot of the time I think, "Oh, good." I didn't have much planned. So glad there's something to do, because I mean, otherwise, the way I think of what I do is I've probably got about 5 things in like a 20-minute set that I might do. And if you ever see me live, you can go, "He can't think of something else to do right now." And there's like a little bingo card that you can have where you see me. If you ever see me ask the crowd, "Are you ready?" and then ask them a second time, and then declare that something called the middle class crowd surf is about to occur, I have run out of all ideas. I am doing that because it's a good thing to do, and it will buy me 45 seconds of confused, baffled laughter and fear in which to think of something else or find something. But it was the most British fucking comedy story I've ever read. Okay, because what happened is the guy who kept shouting, "Garlic bread! Garlic bread!" Right? At Peter Kay's thing, has said that he's been manhandled and thrown down the stairs by security and brutally beaten about the head, and his son's been defenestrated, and he can't spell or pronounce defenestrated, and all of this, right? Oh, I was just saying garlic bread. And a lot of the time, it's like, yeah. How many times were you saying that? And how loudly? And how insistently? Because quite noticeably, people who were sitting near that man have gone, "He was ruining our evening."
Yes, yeah.
It was like sitting next to a Pokemon whose name was Garlic Bread. And then, people will do this thing of, "Oh, I was just laughing." It's like, no, you weren't.
No.
You know what you were doing. You were being a disruptive fuckhead. And then, curiously, when a bouncer came along and treated you as a disruptive fuckhead would be treated in any other context, you thought, "Well, I'm very upset." How has the consequences of my actions come to get me? Good Lord.